Mike Moore Media, the first place to hear Rockingham County news and information.
Today I'm talking to Rodney Cates, Director, Rockingham County Emergency Services 911, and to Jeremy Shelton, Assistant Fire Marshal here in the county. And Rodney and Jeremy, good to have you both on the program. I know we've got a lot to talk about. So why don't you start us, Rodney? I know October being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you're involved in that as well.
We are, Mike, and it's good to be with you today. We try to support that as best we can. In our 911 center, we have a majority of a female staff, and in support of breast cancer awareness, we have pink T-shirts, or they can wear their own pink T-shirts or breast cancer supporting shirts that they would like to wear. So for the entire month, we don't wear our traditional uniforms, and we allow what we call the dress down, and our staff are allowed to wear their pink T-shirts and in their support of breast cancer. And, you know, last year we actually had a member here that did have breast cancer, and some fundraisers were done, and she was captured on the local news. And I think Mabel Scott, our county PIO, has done a follow-up story with her recently on the success of her outcome.
Good.
But certainly the breast cancer situation has hit home for all of us in some form or fashion, so we just try to be supportive of that. And from the EMS standpoint, we actually have some pink magnetic ribbons that we place on the doors of the trucks, just, again, to show our support to the community, that we understand the impact that breast cancer has on the entire population, and we support that cause and are fully behind that 100%.
Sure. Well, that visibility out there is very important and reminds us constantly how important that is. So thank you for that support. Jeremy, let's talk about Fire Prevention Week and what all's going on. And I know a toy drive for one coming up you wanted to talk about too, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. It is Fire Prevention Week, which is a National Fire Prevention Week, which occurs every year on the week of October 9th. And the reason that Fire Prevention Week was created is actually created in commemoration of the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. And Fire Prevention Week was put into action by President Calvin Coolidge, just for a little bit of history on it. So we take 1 week out of October to really hit hard on Fire Prevention Week, because we want to try to make people as safe as we can. So we have a couple safety tips here we want to talk about for Fire Prevention Week.
Sure.
You know, wintertime is coming up. We've got holiday seasons coming up. So one of the two biggest things we want to talk about for Fire Prevention Week is going to be some heating safety and some Thanksgiving safety. But the theme this year for Fire Prevention Week is cooking safety. That was the main theme that they chose for the Fire Prevention Week this year. And we just want everybody to remember to be mindful of the things that they're cooking on the stoves, to be sure that they take the handles of their pots and turn them towards the back of the stove so that children aren't able to pull pots off the stove and get burned. And we want to make sure that everybody knows not to leave things unattended when you're cooking. You need to stay with it.
I wanted to mention that just a minute there, Jeremy, because I don't know how many news stories I have had over the almost 50 years I've been in Rockingham County, and it goes right back to a kitchen fire. There seems to be more of those than anything else sometimes.
Kitchen fires are one of the number one leading causes of house fires across the nation.
Yeah, so we really need to be aware of what's going on there in the kitchen and leaving things unattended. I remember that so many times over the years.
That is very correct. Cooking oil on the stove is one of the most dangerous things, and leaving pots unattended and forgetting about what you're cooking.
You think I can just walk away for a moment? I'll be right back. But that moment, things can happen fast, can't they?
Exactly right. Something always comes up and you forget you were cooking until it's too late.
Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I know that's something that that we certainly need to be extra aware of for sure. And, you know, it seems to me like it should be Fire Prevention Week 52 weeks out of the year, because we need to be on top of that.
Well, I have to be honest with you. The standpoint from our fire marshals is it is Fire Prevention Week 52 weeks out of the year. Even though, you know, the National Fire Prevention Week happens and they push that really hard, we push fire prevention 52 weeks out of the year because our jobs is to save lives and protect property. And the simplest, easiest way to do that is by educating people.
Yeah, We just had some construction work done here at home, and I think there's some new safety guidelines in place about smoke detectors and things like that. Can you give us maybe an update on what we should have in our home?
Yes, sir. We typically, as a matter of fact, the Rockingham County Fire Marshal's office does install smoke alarms free to residents of Rockingham County, and we have a hotline number that they can call and leave us a message with. But we recommend that you have a smoke alarm in every bedroom and outside the main common area, and you want to be sure you have smoke alarms on each floor of your house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and make sure that are we still using the battery kind? But somebody told me it has to be hardwired now. What's the story there?
Under the new codes, they probably when they're building new houses, yes, they are putting in hardwired smoke alarms on new houses. And what that does is it actually ties all the smoke alarms in together, so that if, say, you have a basement in your house and all the smoke alarms are tied in together, and that's where your laundry room's at, if a fire breaks out in the basement and you sleep on the second floor is where the master bedroom is, not only is the fire alarm in the basement going to go off, but the smoke alarm that's in your bedroom on the second floor is also going to go off.
Oh, wow. Okay. I see the value there now quickly. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. And you were getting ready to tell us about the toy drive that's underway.
Yes, sir. This year, the Rockingham County Fire Marshal's office is doing its first annual toy drive. I'm pleased to let you know that Rockingham County has started its very own chapter of the Firefighter Burn Children's Fund. And the purpose of the Firefighter Burn Children's Fund is to raise funds that can be used and done in a variety of methods, but it's to raise money to be able to educate people and assist people that have been through, but that are burn survivors. And there's some really big camps that some of the burn units put on for burn children survivors, and a lot of this money done through this program is used to help fund those types of programs for children. So this year we wanted to be helped because we've got a new chapter in this county, and we know that Christmas time is coming up. And when children are burned, it's a very long process of healing. Mm-hmm. They spend a lot of time in the burned children's wards, and it's very taxing on their families traveling back and forth. So the ability may not be there for the families to be able to provide Christmas for these children. So we decided to get together, and we have a lot of fire departments on board with this, and we've created a toy drive. And what we're going to do is we're running it from October 1st to November 15th, and we're going to collect toys that we're going to donate to the Burn Children's Fund, or the Burn Children's units here in the areas. And those toys which the Burn Children's units cannot accept will be donated to the Rockingham County Salvation Army.
You know, this is a great idea, and I commend you and everyone for putting this together. It's you see these news stories and burn victims, wow, and you wonder how they'll ever recover. But this is great to help them here at Christmas time. So thanks to everyone involved for that, Jeremy.
You're very welcome. And there is a flyer going around, and it's out on social media. We have several drop-off points within the county. At the governmental center, we also have drive-up drop-off. So anybody wanting to donate a toy but not really want to get out can drive up to the governmental center. It's a check-in point, and we have a collection point there where they can turn the toy in, and we will collect them all.
Okay, that makes it really easy for us to help, for sure. And you say this goes through November 15th.
Yes, we're going to run this through November 15th. We there's lots of toy drives that go on for different purposes, toys for tots. So we kind of wanted to go on and get ours in early to be able to get everything done and collected. That way we really didn't interfere with any of the larger ones that have been around, because everybody needs a chance to have some Christmas. Oh,
that's exactly right. And, this has been such a difficult year for so many people, so it's probably needed more this Christmas than in recent years, for sure, isn't it?
You're very right.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, that's good to know. So thanks, everyone, again for that. Rodney, back to you. Do we need to talk about some other things maybe you have on the schedule today?
Just reiterating what Jeremy had already talked about, the Thanksgiving safety Thanksgiving is the leading day of the year for home fires involving cooking equipment. So, that's when everybody gets together, and Thanksgiving's traditional, obviously, for the food that's prepared that day. So we just want everybody to be mindful of the hazards that the cooking could place one under in one's home. So we would encourage people just to be very safe on that day and other days, but certainly Thanksgiving Day.
Mm-hmm, sure. Has there really been an increase now that people have these cookers and they're dropping these turkeys in that hot grease now? It seems to be, you hear those every now and then, and they're under a structure, and the porch catches on fire and everything else.
That's true. There has been an increase in that, and prior to Thanksgiving Day, we will, from the Fire Marshal's office, will again through social media push some information out on the safe way to do the deep fried turkeys, ways to prevent accidents from occurring when using those type of cooking apparatus. So we'll be sending some information out on that early in November.
Okay, very good. All righty, some excellent information on today's program as usual. I certainly appreciate both of you being on the program. Just in our remaining minute, Rodney, let me ask you, I saw part of a video the other day, you and Mabel Scott talking about job openings with some county positions. You want to mention that in any way before we wrap it up?
Yeah, we have several openings. EMS-wise, we have some paramedic positions, and we will probably have some EMT positions coming available. That's an open enrollment process. If one wants to look at our webpage, they can, through NeoGov, can put an application in if they meet those criteria. There's some pre-interview questions that one would have to answer through NeoGov that would let one know whether they qualify for those positions or not. From the 911 telecommunications standpoint, we have 2 openings right now, and we encourage people to put in applications for that. Once the application is accepted, a person goes through a screening process, and then we start an interview process. So there's certainly some opportunities out there. These are challenging jobs that certainly take a special individual to do, but we encourage all to apply for them, and we certainly want to be as full as we can from the employment side.
Sure. Okay. All righty. Well, thanks again. I appreciate all of the good information you've shared, Rodney and Jeremy, and thanks for being on the program, and have a good weekend. We'll talk again soon.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
sir.
Okay. All right. Bye. Jeremy, I may give Jeremy a call, and we'll do another segment with him about the toy drive. We need to make sure we get the word out on that for sure. Thanks to Rodney Cates, Director of Rockingham County Emergency Services, 911, and one of the Assistant Fire Marshals here in the county, Jeremy Marshall. Jeremy Shelton and Rodney Cates. Thank you both. You can get more information about some of the things they're talking about on the county's website, and that's myrockinghamcountync.com.